Are you here for the case?
Yes.
Why don't you sit next to the woman in blue there? That's the Chapter 13 Standing Trustees Council. Council, please note your appearances for the record.
John. On the list of the creditors.
Thank you very much. What my notes indicate from the last hearing in this matter was that confirmation was continued to this date to allow for the Chapter 13 Trustees Office to do some due diligence into the debtor's finances. And this issue arose as a result of the creditor objection by the individual that's noted his appearance on the record. And I haven't seen anything new filed since then, but if something's been filed and I missed it, please let me know. So I think we should go first.
Thank you, Your Honor. While the case has been pending, the trustee has reviewed significant numbers of additional documents provided by Mr. The trustee's office has reviewed property statements for value on each of the properties at issue here, a copy of the loan modification from NationStar on the rental property, a copy of the 2015 tax returns, both for his LLC. I've received a roster of the renters who rent property from him, all of them very low income. I've got a copy of the contract for deed with the payments, and I have reviewed some photographs sent to me by Mr. I've compared those to the documents that were filed with the court in this case for income and expenses. And after all of that review with this answer, but I cannot find anywhere that the debtor has additional funds that he could be paying to this plan. I think it is very likely that I'll be very surprised if the debtor makes it through in possession of the rental property at all, as well as the storefront properties. And I have the photographs here. It's evident to me that the rents that he's getting will barely cover, if they ever cover, the expenses for these properties. This appears to be an individual who thought he could make a lot of money in the real estate business, and so he is renting part of his homestead, which is in extreme delinquency. He's still trying to hold on to the rental property. Frankly, based on the photographs that I have, the property does not look worth holding on to, and the storefront appears to be in equally poor repair from what I can see here. These are not outer or even inner ring suburb properties that possess significant value in any way. These are central city properties wherein the debtor rents to low-income tenants, Section 8 tenants. In looking at the properties, these are properties that are rented to folks who just cannot afford to live in a better place. The question was he renting? Yes, he is. Avenue property, there are 4 tenants, 3 of whom pay $400 a month, 1 $425. The Haiti, there are 4 tenants. They pay a little more. 2 of them, all 4 of them pay $600 a month each. And as far as the commercial space, there is a monthly rent from 2 of them, one at $675, one at $850. Then there are tenants who rent only garage space for $450, and another tenant who rents garage space for $275. So essentially what we have here is someone that is renting property in very poor condition in, I don't know that I can necessarily say inner city, but certainly center city properties. I've compared the tax return results for 2015 for both of the personal as well as the rental properties. Is paying $850 a month to the trustee. He's paying for the full 60 months. A portion of that, of course, is due to the fact that he has a significant delinquency on his homestead and is desperately trying to comply with the terms of a loan modification on the one rental property. So from the documents, from everything that I have seen, I cannot say from the trustee's perspective without some kind of other evidentiary hearing, and I don't know that it would be appropriate or necessary in this case, I can't say that he could pay any more money to the trustee or to his creditors.
So what is your bottom line on this?
I think the plan should confirm, Your Honor. I don't think he can do any better based on what I know, unless I come up with a lot more evidence that he's lying about how many people he's renting to, that he's lying about how much rent he's receiving, that the properties are in significantly better shape. Yes, the county may have valued them to where it looks like they're worth a fair amount of money, but they're both encumbered. And he's buying the commercial space on a contract for deed, and I have no idea how he's going to meet those obligations either. This is not someone who is doing extremely well. This is someone who's barely hanging on, from what I can see, barely hanging on and taking in just enough rent to hang on to his interest in the property. And I think if the president can tell you whatever it is that he wants to tell you about the properties, I've seen the photographs. I would suspect that the county valuations for these properties are likely high rather than low.
Have you had a chance to speak with Mr. Archer today?
No, I have not. He has sent me the photographs, but I have not had an opportunity to speak with him. I just got the last of the documentation in very recently and was looking at it as late as yesterday to try to figure out where I would be going this morning.
All right. Mr. Tell me what your position is this morning.
So, just say first, I work at 2 duplex. But she claimed are bad, they are in good shape. And they worth each like, I think one is like 450 grand, the other is like 400 grand. So much they worth right now. And plus, from Chapter 7, he bought that building on the Central for huge money. It's big building. I was inside. So I think he got it in property valuation right now, over $1 million. I just don't understand how he's poor. He owned that Eaglehart duplex completely. And first, you got a record of this guy claim that only one old man that died rent from Mr. All suddenly show up 6, 7 different persons rent from Mr. That true? Did you say only one person that died rent from Mr.
To talk to me at this hearing?
But okay, you have to go back to record where he said that nobody rent nothing, and you say it's odd. You don't believe that. And I sent photos and she checked 7 persons rent from him, and plus he owned completely house, good house. I fix up that. So anyway, at this point, he's rich right now. He's millionaire. So why he got it low rent? Because he get part in the cash, even if it's so low. Who rent for $400 or so? Even if it's so low, he got it over $1 million properties. You know. I know. I worked on that. I work on that 2 duplex. I fix up them. They are not falling apart. They are very good shape, but they worth a lot. And plus, it's not bad area. Only 3 blocks from Summit. All houses in that area are excellent. I saw besides school, just 1 block high school. So, and that a new house is excellent area. It's just 3 blocks, 4 blocks from Werner's house. So,
right.
Only point is this, because I know, just understand. I say all with respect, because I know his chapter 7 in 2011 was fake too. I'll contact today FBI about this case and this chapter 11, because back then he ran to Section 8. I know I worked inside. I talked with that people 1,000 times. It's big crime going on here. But okay, case.
What I heard you say is that he previously filed a bankruptcy case?
He did chapter 7 in 2011, December.
That's not showing up here.
I don't know why that don't show up, but I got it.
Well, if you stop for a minute about this.
Yeah, he filed his Chapter 11 more than 4 years prior to the Chapter 13.
He did chapter 7.
And was it in his individual name?
Yes.
He filled chapter 7, not chapter 11, chapter 7. Something funny is going on. He filled chapter 7. In December 2011.
Here we go. We've got a chapter 7 case.
And it was huge.
That was filed
December 2011.
You're right, and November 11th. 2011.
Yeah, because I worked there, but in 2011 he ran to Section 8, 2008, 2009. I worked there. I talked with that people every day.
Okay, I got it. You're unhappy. I understand that. I'd like to
Yeah,
hear
but
from
it's
Mr. Lehman.
complete. Okay, we got a point. He say nobody don't rent nothing. Man is dead. He say so on first good day, but nobody rent from it. He don't. He then don't take any money from renting. That's not true. Evidently, 7 different people pay to me. He say nobody didn't pay nothing.
Okay, I need to hear Mr. Lee about, respond, if you would, to Mr. comments, especially not taking rent and especially about somebody who apparently is deceased.
I have nothing to say about someone who's deceased. I didn't follow that at all. As far as the rent, we've always listed rental income for all 3 properties on the petition, the amended petition. The plan is counting on rental income. We've provided the trustee with copies of leases, a roster of names, and monthly amounts for the rent. These properties are certainly upside down. The duplex that the creditor speaks so highly of, it's tax valued at $212,000. The current debt between the first and the second is $290,000. So there is no equity. I've personally been there. I got invited into the residence picking up some papers for the trustee, and I've also personally been there, Your Honor, and this is not a glamorous property by any stretch. It's kind of a wonder how.
Okay, I've heard enough.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Excuse me, just short.
Nope. This is what's going to happen. Received documentation yesterday. I know that she has a very full schedule. I think entitled to some kind of an explanation. He's raised some issues here that should be answered. My speculation is that if the 3 of you were to sit down in one of those conference rooms calmly and to talk about some of the concerns, there will be answers. Maybe one doesn't like, but at least he'll understand what's going on here. If indeed the one property is worth, let's say, $225,000 according to the tax records, but Mr. Seida believes it's worth $1 million, must be shown why we believe Mr. $225,000. He can disagree, of course, but at least there'll be a discussion about that. So I'm going to make the 3 of you talk about this, and then after you've had a chance to talk about it, I'll either decide it or I'll put it on for evidentiary hearing. But he's raised some concerns that concern me. But a chance either to speak with him about it, and so she needs that opportunity.
Just quick short question.
Yes, briefly,
Why
Mr. Seidem.
some independent estimator don't show up and say how much?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Some estimator, independent person to estimate value of that.
Well, one would,
I mean, I go
it
for
costs
mine,
money
they
to
go-
do that too. But I'll let
What's
you
that?
talk about it later.
I'd like to talk about your full-time W-2 employment. Can you state your occupation?
A registered nurse, RN, 4-year, BSN.
Okay. And do you have a current employer?
I do.
And who is that?
I don't mind saying, but because of the animosity of the creditor, I prefer to keep my exact location of where I work confidential.
Okay, but you are gainfully employed.
I am, yes.
And what is your hourly rate?
I am currently with the incentives for what I do in my experience and the shifts I work. It's over $50 an hour, $53 an hour or something like that I'm making.
And if you have a bad rental property month, are you able to pick up additional shifts at work?
I can pick up shifts all day, every day. And there's more than one facility in the Twin Cities. We have a lot.
So if you run into problems on your rental properties, will you have problems making the trustee
No, I
payment?
just pick up shifts.
And you're healthy, you don't have any medical issues that prevent you from working?
Nope, I'm very healthy.
I'd like to offer into evidence Exhibit 4, Your Honor.
amended schedules I and J?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections?
None
Yes.
from the trustee, Your Honor.
I got a question. He got $53 per hour.
I'm sorry?
$53 hour is his wage, huh? He says so. $53 hour. 1
Yeah.
hour he earned $53.
Yeah.
How much he earned per year then? $100,000.
Okay, if you want to ask some questions of him, you
Yeah, I
may.
want
in
to
a
ask
little
about
bit.
that. I jump over many things, but man, $53 per hour, 2 buildings, 2 duplex, 1 commercial building. He rents 7 units. He got $100,000, and you want to give him bankruptcy.
Okay, right. And I'm glad you recognize that you are kind of jumping
see,
over
we go
things.
through everything. I didn't ask nothing about cars, everything. When I have to ask, I ask. I'm a reasonable guy. When I got $53 hour, and you will give him bankruptcy today.
Okay.
He rents 7 units. What we
you,
talk here about?
You can jump around if you, I mean, you're jumping around, but I don't have that luxury. I need to, and I'm going to keep this moving in order. So you can ask them questions about that,
Yes.
and you're
I
going to
didn't
have a
ask
chance.
nothing for half hour.
Whoa, stop, please. Okay, right now the question on the table is, are there any objections? And if there are, to exhibits
Yes,
Schedule I and J, what are the objections? And then you will have a chance to ask them questions, and you will have a chance to make an argument to me and present all your thoughts. So don't forget them. I will listen to them. But right now, any objections to admitting Schedule I and J, the new
Yeah, I
amended
have
ones?
last question about this. No objection.
With some of these numbers, but the question right now is, do you have any objections to admitting this piece of paper into evidence? You can
No,
certainly
it's,
dispute the numbers with the debtor.
It's impossible to go to that. Who can go to that? I mean, I understand he rent for $8,000 he earned per month, but his expense. Who go to that? Even a lawyer will not be capable. He can put whatever he wants there. I can do nothing against that. So no objection.
Okay. That was Exhibit 7. It's admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. And is supported by the exhibits. Do any of those look off to you?
No, they're the, look accurate to the best of my ability to make that determination.
Okay. And in your opinion, does Central Avenue cash flow?
Oh, yes, it does.
Okay. In your other 2 properties, does Hague cash flow?
It does.
And you testified you have tenants in there that have been there at least a couple of years?
Yes. 2 to 4 years, yes.
And do you have any knowledge that they may be vacating anytime
I
soon?
do not.
And then with respect to Eigelhart, same question. Are your tenants happy living there?
Yes.
And you have no knowledge that they're going to be moving out?
No.
So with Eigelhart, the rent you collect basically pays for all the expenses according to the chart?
Yes.
So you really have no monthly cost of living?
Correct.
I mean, other than maybe additional maintenance, you're not per
Right.
se paying yourself any rent.
I am not paying myself rent now.
So with the help of the renters, that pays all the bills?
It's covered, yes, the expenses.
Okay. Standards now, or give them a chance to cross-track, whatever the court prefers.
I think that have it.
Yeah.
Mr.
Okay.
Go forward.
First, I'd like to know how money Mr. earned in 2015 from his job. Not from his renting, just from job. How much money you earned? 2015, how much money? Mr.
Okay, thank you. What is the question again?
How much money you earned in 2015?
What are we talking about? What's the
About
I
question?
money
think
that
the question,
from the
okay, I
job.
know you two.
How is it- how is it
Stop,
relevant?
both of you. I know there's a lot of personal animosity between the two of you. You can deal with that outside the courtroom.
Fine.
It's clear to me
Just ask how much money he earned from his nurse job
from his
in
working
2015.
income. I understood the
Very
question.
simple.
The question is, what was your earned income in 2015?
I don't know what my earned income was. I don't have that document in front of me, and I'm not sure how that's relevant to what we're doing here. That's 2015. I was not requested to bring my tax returns here and my pay stubs. I don't know the relevancy of the question, and I don't have an exact answer.
Honor.
I don't, you just give me a minute here. Okay, now I'm doing this because we have a pro se party here, but again, I'm not going to give the objecting creditor an unfair advantage either. So there's, in Exhibit 3, there's what's called a Statement of Financial Affairs. And in that, I'm reading from the exhibit. It says that the gross income of the debtor from January 1st until the date of the filing of the bankruptcy, which was in December of 2015, was just under $13,000. And in 2014, there's also wage income of about $40,000, and 2013 about $19,000.
So I guess, sorry, but I must say it's crucial to know how much he earned in 2015. You can bring decision without knowing that. I mean, how we can bring any decision? We need to know how much he earned. Just one, on the first meeting of the creditors, it is on the CD. Trustee asked him how much he earned in 2014. He say he can't remember. Same like right now, he say he can't remember. You can bring decision. You need to know how much he earned. Mm-hmm. I mean, and then okay, this one point. Second point, I got it here. He get from the rent 4,000, 5,600, 6,000, 8,000 bucks from renting. Okay, how much is profit? They know that. They will say me. They earn 8,000, but he got that huge expense. Who followed that? I can't believe that. Anyway, how much he earned, how much he stay in his pocket per month from renting? How much is profit of this business? He got it. He rent 7 units. How much?
I'm
Profit?
objecting,
Okay.
no question for the.
I'm waiting for the question, I agree.
How much profit? How much he got
Okay.
it 8,000 from rent, but how much is clean profit on the hand?
All right, so I think you need to ask the debtor the question. Instead of asking me, you need to ask him
Yeah,
what is the profit, and then he can
they
answer that
probably
question.
should figure out that one time ago.
All right.
The profit or the money that I've made is in my filings here. And
They should bring here that.
Well, I give him a chance to answer.
everything, I mean, my attorney might have to point me right to the exact spot, but this stuff is in here, and we're talking about today and my ability to make the payments and cash flow my properties, and what I'm doing today, not how my income has anything to do with it, and being jammed up here for over a year in the court system with a bunch of ridiculous allegations and animosity.
It was a hard time to get the question, and now it's a hard time to get the answer.
Okay, yeah.
So-
It's like
How you can bring?
I don't see the relevancy of that. We're here today
How
to
you can bring
discuss our
decision? He don't say any numbers. How
presentations.
much he earned? How you can say anything? How you can bring decision? He didn't say how much is his profit from renting and how much he earned from his job. We don't know. You don't know. I
I
don't
have
know.
tax returns I filed. I'm up
Okay,
on my
bring
tax
that to the
returns.
court.
Well,
Are you guys done?
Yes.
Tell me when you're done.
Yeah, but you
I'm
can
done.
bring
Okay.
decision.
I'm not going to get between the two of you. I'll
I'm
probably get
done.
shot.
I
Okay.
filed my tax returns.
But bring here.
Okay. There's
Can
a
I say
question on the
something?
table that, frankly, if I were you, I would be able to answer, because I think the answer might be in one of these exhibits. I don't know if you have the exhibit book in front of you.
Okay, I do.
You should.
My rental income wouldn't have changed, and then whatever my W-2 income is for 2015, probably around $30,000.
How can be $53 only 30,000? How much hours he work? Like
I'm not going to do the math on the bench, and if you want to figure it out and make an argument, you can do
but
that.
he must bring papers. He
But the-
can't go west. He need to bring documents. So you can, I think, so you can bring decision until you see his tax return. It's it. Problem is, again, on the first meeting of creditors, trustee there, that Chinese guy asked him his tax return. He didn't answer. Same like he can't remember. How we can do something he can't remember any number?
You know
of
what?
the
Why
tax?
don't we give him a chance to answer the question? I think the question is,
Tax number.
what was your profit from the 3 rental properties? Is that your question?
Yes. And how much he earned from job?
Wait,
altogether.
one at a time. I've let you just go on because
Yeah.
I thought it might help, but it's not helping. So, question. What are your net profits? That's the question on the table
I had,
on a yearly basis.
Plus his profit is
maybe my attorney can help me here if there's numbers here. I filed my,
Exhibit 7, Doug.
I'm sorry,
Exhibit 7.
Exhibit 7, okay.
What he's referring to.
Okay, regarding 2015, I'm not sure why we're on there. I don't,
We're not. The question now, we've kind of moved on to another question.
thank you.
The question is, not saying we won't get back to it,
Okay.
what profits did you make, if any, on the rental properties? Or for
Well, it would-
a time period?
It would be what my income was, the rental income, minus expenses, minus taxes, minus mortgage payments, maintenance, that sort of thing.
Okay.
You know, and I thought this is what we've done this and all the exhibits after 7 supporting that.
Okay, so what do your exhibits provide then for going forward?
That the exhibits provide that this is my rent, this is my income. We've discussed my ability to make my payments to the trustee. I've paid $11,400 to date on payments, and the property's cash flow, and I earn sufficient income, even sitting as is. And
Okay.
rents are going to be going up. Maintenance is going to be going down. You know, like or it's not going to be. You know, and if I do have a maintenance problem, I do have the Service Plus, and I'm able to make the payments. And we spent a lot of time putting this diligently and honestly together.
Okay, so I'm looking at Exhibit 7. It shows that you have a net cash flow on a monthly basis of round numbers $623.
Correct. $622.99.
Do you mind if I round that up a penny?
Feel free, please.
Thank you. $623 a month. So are
That's
you
for 1
saying
year.
that if you were to take that out for a year, multiply that by 12, that would be your yearly profit
Is that
going
all?
forward?
I,
Is that your testimony?
if that would be the number, that would be logical.
Is that for all 3 units or for just all
This
3
is for
buildings?
all, we're looking at Exhibit 7. This is for the 3 rental properties, the
You
Eigelhart,
rent
the Hague.
8,000, he make like 7% profit. If would be some construction people here, I'm in business, people just fall down on the floor from laughing. He makes 7% profit from revenue. So who can believe this? And then he don't have tax number. How you can give him bankruptcy?
Well, he's filed
ridiculous.
bankruptcy, he's in bankruptcy.
Yeah, well, he must bring.
What is the question? What is the question for the witness?
I don't believe this. That
Okay.
he got 2,600 and 8,000 bucks.
All right.
It's unbelievable.
Then you will have an opportunity to present your own evidence on that question, on that
How I
issue.
can follow this span million documents? Who follow that? Nobody can pick up that. It's made up completely. Okay, what for my case? I want his chapter. I want his tax return 2015. He never ever say tax return to that first guy, China guy, on first meeting of creditors. He didn't say how much his tax return in 2014. I need to know how much his tax
Okay,
return.
right now,
You can
again.
give him bankruptcy. no
Well,
way.
time. We've got a witness on the stand, and you have a chance to ask him questions.
Ask him, he didn't answer. I asked him how much he earned in 2015, he didn't answer. And how much he earned in 2016, he didn't
Okay,
answer.
all right, point
You need to
taken.
bring document to you and you decide on base of that. But
All
you
right.
can decide today, you need to see numbers, it's it. And by
Okay,
the way,
any
when we
other-
write already, I can hire when we write for his tax return 2015 and 16, I can hire my appraiser for Hague and he'll give appraising on the Hague, so we good. But
Okay,
my
but today
opinion-
is your opportunity
Yeah,
to.
Yeah, but he don't have tax number. We have to write for
Well,
him.
if you wanted that, then you would have had to have requested that formally before, and apparently you didn't do that. It's
How
not
can
here.
I mean? How you can give?
Okay, we're done with this. Any
Yeah,
other
it will go
questions?
further than it will not be finished here on this level. It will go further.
Okay, I understand your.
On that petition, there's a schedule named Exhibit C.
Okay.
That's the document that protects all of your assets.
Right.
And when we reviewed that in my office, do you remember me telling you that all of your assets are protected by the law?
I do.
So you did not have any property that was non-exempt? You're not going to lose anything in this Chapter 13?
Oh, if I'm understanding the question correct, I do have protection, so that property that we listed, that I'm protected with those limits, I will not be losing.
Correct.
Okay, yes.
I'm submitting to you that all your property is covered by some sort of federal exemption.
Yes.
And I was going to touch on that in my argument, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm a bit confused here, though.
Okay.
In Schedule C, which is part of Exhibit 3, it says that his interest in C&P acquisitions is valued at $1, and that you claim an exemption of about $1,500 for it. And in the description, it says there's no cash flow. But
Yep.
earlier today, he testified that there was cash flow of round numbers $600 a month or so.
That as of confirmation, we submitted the numbers as of January 2017. That was as of December 2015. He testified the property was purchased when it was boarded up, so there was a lot of rehab that was still going on as of the date of filing. It was not cash flowing as of the day of filing.
But now it is.
Yes, Your Honor. But everything is valued as of the petition date, and there's been no objection to our schedules or our claimed exemption. And for the testimony, the cash flow is needed to support the plan which we put forth.
But what is the effective date of the plan? Wouldn't it be confirmation?
Well, that's the effective date of the plan, but there's case law that says everything's valid as of the petition date. In the lien stripping realm, there might be some case law that says,
Well, I'm just looking at the statute right now, 1325A4. It says the value as of the effective date of the plan is not less than the amount would be paid on such claim if the debtor were to be liquidated on such date. So,
well, we submit there is no value to the LLC. If it were to be liquidated or sold, there's realtor fees, closing costs. There's a balloon payment in 11 months, which if it's not met, the property is forfeited back to the seller.
but aren't you talking about the value of the land or the building? And isn't the LLC different than the LLC is more than the building?
Correct. But if you look at the cash flows, the money's coming in and a little bit distributed to the partners. I can certainly inquire as to the debtor, but his partner kind of manages that aspect of it.
I mean, your exhibit says there's $585.86 a month net cash flow on that building.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. All right. All right, so you were on 1325A4 when I interrupted.
Mortgage companies and other secured creditors being provided for in this plan.
Yes.
And make all the payments to the trustee under the plan as they come due going forward.
Yes, I am.
And you stated you filed the petition also in good faith?
Yes.
And if you're under a child support or spousal maintenance order, have you made all those payments since the case was filed?
I'm not under any spousal support.
So you were under an order and you fulfilled your obligation?
Yes, at the time. My son's 19 now. It's been fulfilled.
Okay. And finally, in the last 4 years, 15, 14, 13, 12, have you filed your state and federal income tax?
I have.
And have you provided a copy to the trustee?
Yes.
That's it.
Please try and stop interrupting, but he testified that he provided them to the trustee. He also testified he didn't have them with him here today. I don't think that's inconsistent.
Thank you.
Okay. No, Miss, you get to stay there.
I'll be very brief, Your Honor. These final questions also go to the issue of whether or not this plan is feasible and whether or not the debtor will be able to provide all the payments under the plan. In looking at your Schedule I that represents your income, sir, I notice that you don't have medical insurance. Is that right?
I don't have.
You don't have medical insurance
I don't
through your job?
I don't currently now, no.
Okay.
But that is.
Well, you
sorry.
don't have it, is that
Currently,
right?
that is correct. I don't
All
have
right.
health insurance.
On your budget, which is Schedule J, you provide $125 a month toward medical and dental expenses. Now, is it fair to say that you are paying any kind of medical and dental payments, expenses out of pocket? Is that right?
Out of pocket, yeah.
Okay.
If I did.
Okay. And you also testified earlier that you'd had some major medical issues that caused you to incur a large arrearage on your mortgage. Isn't that right?
It contributed to the fact I could make my payments, yes.
Okay. So isn't it fair to say that if you run into future medical issues, at least at that magnitude or perhaps even a little less, you're going to run short on your income?
It would be a possibility, yes.
Thank you. No
Thank you.
further questions, Your Honor.
You get to ask questions again.
Yeah, okay.
Let's wait till you get up to the lectern so we don't lose any of your words.
I can agree with this, that he gave document to trustee. When I was at first meeting of creditors, he didn't give to him any tax return. He says same what he said to you, can remember or so, you know. We don't have any his tax return at all, zero. No from 2014, no from 2015, no from 2016. Nothing is here.
I
I
believe.
swear my life, I was there first meeting of creditor. That Chinese guy asked him to give tax return from 2014. He said he can't remember. He
Okay, I'm going to take a little bit out of turn and who works with the trustee that was at the 341 meeting.
Chinese guy.
Did your office receive the tax returns? And I agree this is a little procedurally wonky, but that's the day,
Your
I
Honor,
guess.
the meeting of creditors would have taken place on January 13th, 2016. At the time of the meeting of creditors, the trustee would have received the 2014 returns for the debtor, because absent receipt of those tax returns, the meeting of creditors would not have been held. If he had not filed his 2014, if he'd filed the prior year, it would have been whatever last year he filed that would have been provided to the trustee at the meeting of creditors. I don't have access to the internal trustee's file to see whether a 2015 was later received, but he did provide to the trustee the last filed tax return in order for the 341 meeting to go forward.
So
That's
but you
what we
don't-
would have had.
But you don't know for sure that he delivered them at the 341 meeting. I know you're not testifying, you're just helping me out
No,
here.
Your Honor, the way the process works is that the debtor must provide to the trustee the last filed, under the statute, federal returns 7 days prior to the commencement of the 341 meeting. If they do not do that, the meeting is moved. So in this particular case, he would have had to have provided a copy of the last filed returns, which in his case I believe would have been 2014, prior to the meeting of creditors. So, believes it or not, we are very strict on that requirement for debtors, and we would have received at least the 2014 returns.
Would your files still include that, or is that returned?
Yes, we would still have it.
All right, thank you. Okay, I'm trying to be back up at the lectern here. Okay, so we have an issue about the tax returns. I'm not,
I was there on that first meeting of creditor. Exactly that Chinese guy asked him about his, why he left empty income 2014, and he said exactly like he said here, he can't remember. He said so, and he lost the paper. It's it. So they just left that open, nothing there. I don't know why that didn't go through. As right now, we don't have any of his tax return, no one, no 2013, no 2014, no 2015, no 2016. I ask you now, you know decision, you need not bring decision now, just ask him to bring that then tax return, and then you bring decision. Just bring tax, 2014, 2015, 2016. Nobody don't know number. I was here 10 times, I never ever hear any numbers. So,
Okay.
I mean, it's so, I mean, he never show anything,
all right.
period.
Okay, do you have any other questions for Mr.
I have.
For the debtor?
So he said, she called him scam artist, basically.
All
She
right.
live in his apartment duplex.
So I understand that you don't have any closing
With
argument.
the 10-minute recess, I would ask the trustee to call back to their office to verify receipt of the 2015 tax returns. I can submit to the court. I personally emailed them over to the office. They're
I'll
on
let-
extension. And
I'll let you guys